Okay, so continuing on with the idea of the eating to live or live to eat topic. This particular video came about with noticing that quite a few folks had an interesting mindset about they love relaxing and cooking. And so it was a little bit of a difference from the other ones that are eat to live. And I find for myself, the majority of time, I am an eat to live person. If it, as long as it's keeping some gas in the tank to get me through a day, and when I remember, I will put food in. It does not necessarily that it's going to be within the criteria of what I'm wanting to put into my body, but I usually make sure that those staples are around. And I noticed that there was some other folks that also mentioned that type of mindset. And actually it's pretty handy because it keeps your grocery costs a little bit smaller. But the one that this whole idea of cooking, it's interesting to me. So relaxing and cooking. I think I'm going to back up here a bit. I have an example where a friend of mine who is an amazing cook, she comes to stay with us and she takes over the kitchen, and for however many days she's there, she prepares these elaborate meals, and it is fantastic. It is amazing. I don't have any thought process. I just provide the context and the ingredients. And she's able to make fun of how pathetic my utensil situation is, but also prepare these great meals in dealing with that lack of cookware. But relaxing and cooking, there is something to be said for that. And I think this is a certain topic because I feel for myself, it is a direct correlation with my level of stress. So as us INTJs, for myself, I find the higher my stress is, it becomes even less apparent. So when I'm getting to a stage where I'm almost chronic stress, then I won't even know that I'm at that. I'm having physiological symptoms. And one of the physiological symptoms is lack of appetite. Usually because it's associated with, for myself, issues with, acid reflux or that type of thing. And obviously you're not feeling like putting in a ton of food when you're dealing with that type of issue. So, however, I really find cooking interesting because it ties to potentially the personal side of things, where I grew up in a small town where we grew up with, the 3 square meals, which we don't do in our own family. We're way more fly by the seat of our pants. But when we're able to dedicate that time, take the time to make something that is really interesting and special and pull in different ingredients and do something you haven't done before, I find that really cathartic. And there is a great space for that. So I definitely notice my lack of interest in cooking and lack of interest in eating really does tie to what my emotional gauge is during that time. So I'm going to show you a couple. This is speaking to a little bit of a show and tell here, but this is how much I value the concept of cooking, the experience of cooking. So I built these. They're all falling apart. These are all falling apart, but these are all recipes that I have accumulated because efficiency-wise, it drives me crazy that I have way too many cookbooks and I only need 3 recipes out of them. So what I like about it is that I took this tip from my mom. She would put in her notes as to whether or not that was good or not. This came off of a can or something, I can't remember. And this is like an old school recipe. And but what it does is it almost gives you a little bit of history. So you're able to walk down memory lane and remember why you made that, how it was, who liked it, that type of thing. Then speaking to the other side of why I find the cooking experience amazing, sorry, I've just got the hiccups, is international cooking. Fantastic. I am Norwegian. We live on recipes that involve flour and water and meat. So it's not exactly expensive. You don't see Norwegian restaurants taken off anywhere. So to be able to go and find these really dynamic, unique types of recipes. Now with online, you can go and get some really great spices and that type of thing. So it's something that it sparks your creativity, and it's a thing about, you know, even if you're making it for yourself, there is a certain bit where you get that time to be yourself. You're letting yourself just have space rather than running around in your own brain and trying to make sense of what's going on. So to take those times and really value them is really important to me. And also I feel that I need to honor the times that I don't. And if I am eating popcorn for my 3 squares that week, then I know I'm big enough of a girl to know to take a multivitamin. So anyways, that's kind of speaking to that topic. And the main premise for that one is more of the mental side of things. So interested to hear your comments on that, see what you guys have to say regarding your own experience. As always, video requests totally love. If you have a question, most of the time, there are many others that have a similar type of question. So just put it in as a video request in the comment section. Thanks.